starting with you, would you rather come across a random man or a random bear in the woods?
I'm gonna go man.
I don't even know.
You haven't heard this?
No, I
TikTok
have.
thing?
I've thought about it. I think both can bring danger.
If you had to pick
Well,
one.
like, yeah, if you had to pick one, if there was a button, there was a magic button, and you had to select one. One was bear, one was man. Which one do you think you would press?
I'd probably say bear.
Bear.
Why is that?
I just feel like, it's just like easier to kind of get them to go away.
It's easier to get a bear to go away.
I just feel like men are very unpredictable.
Aren't wild animals unpredictable?
I can predict that the bear is going to kill me.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, y'all, like, I don't know. But if you're going to ask me to choose one, I'm probably going to say bear.
We'll get everybody's answers. Go ahead.
So I picked the bear last time, and I picked the bear this time. I could either move.
That's it. No, that's it. Okay. What about you?
Bear.
Man.
Wait,
Man.
what did you pick last time?
I picked bear. Yeah.
Okay. What do you pick?
I picked the man.
Yeah, random man for sure.
We do need to wait until she's back, the one who's gone from the table, to get her answer. Those of you who said bear, so you said bear, you said
bear. Yeah.
Bear. Why bear?
So I picked bear. So I've noticed, I've done some self-reflection since then and just recently. I've had a lot of negative experiences with men, but it seems like the more positive experiences that I have with men and the more like safety that I feel, I might be inclined to pick the man. And I'm starting to wonder, did I just get bad luck of the draw, like in a sense, like in the past? And that's why my judgment is skewed, because that's the way I choose bear because of that. Is that a safe thing for me to do? Or if some people have really bad things happen to them, should they just kind of look at things as a whole and be like, look, you might have had like 10 bad things happen to you, but things could change. Okay. So I don't know. Yeah.
Why do you pick bear?
Sorry. I think I would pick, I know I would pick the bear just because I'd say both have primal instincts, but overall a bear would be more predictable considering the fact that it is a primal animal and less intelligent than a man. I just feel like
when you say the bear would be more predictable, you mean you could
like the
more
bear,
predictably imagine it attacking you compared to a man?
Well, the bear, say both are like per se hostile, then if the bear is hostile...
That's not the question. You don't know if the random man's hostile. You don't know if the bear's hostile. They could be. They might not be.
Well, if the man's hostile, then...
No.
You're taking the chance.
That's less predictable. I'm saying if you know that, like, say, like, if you're stuck in the forest with a man and a bear, if the bear gets provoked, what's it going to do? Attack you. If the man gets provoked, you don't know what the fuck the man's going to do. So I'm saying the bear, like, you know what it's going to do if it gets provoked.
Let me ask you a question, though. You mentioned provoked. If I put both of the men, like just a random man and a random bear in this situation, I think actually if you provoke a bear versus you provoke like some nerdy gamer guy who would never hurt a fly, like you could even go, like you could probably walk up to a lot of dudes and literally poke them and they would not do anything to you. Do you think you would have that same experience with with bears?
Well, the bear would definitely try to eat you, and you don't know if the random man in the forest is going to be a nerdy gamer.
I would argue you could actually do, I would argue you could actually do this social experiment, and you could actually go out into the street and just approach a random man, and you could even like poke him kind of annoyingly, poke him in the shoulder.
You don't know what they're going to do.
He can't eat you alive.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though, is,
But he's agreeing, right? He's saying you're right.
Yeah.
You don't know what they'll do. But let us assume for a second that you had 20 men and 20 random bears. If you went and poked the 20 men in the chest like this, versus poking 20 bears in the chest like this, which one do you think would be more likely to, eat your face?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
Bear, no, listen, like the bear would be more likely to eat your face, but you don't know if the man That's the thing. You don't know like what he has on him. He could have a
No, I agree.
gun
You
or
don't know. The
something
man
like
could
that.
freak out, right? He could freak out. He could do horrible things. But
A bear would
which
eat
do you-
your face,
Which
and we
one?
know
But
that
which,
for a
but which
fact.
one do you think is more? Which one do you think is more likely to freak out if you walk over and start poking him in the chest? A random man or a random bear?
Well, the bear would definitely eat your face, but you know for a fact that the bear would eat your face. That's
Good point.
predictable. That's what I'm saying. The whole
Good
point
point.
of my entire, I guess, opinion on this factor is that the bear would, in fact, eat your face.
So you'd rather die because it's
So you'd
guaranteed
rather
you're gonna die?
predictably die than
Yeah, like
have a man look at you,
You
like,
guys like
the fuck
aren't
are you doing?
understanding what she's saying.
No,
Well,
we're
no,
well,
understanding.
she's just trying to word it where she wants to hate men so bad,
Or
but it just
per-
doesn't make
well,
sense. When you
perhaps,
try to make it
Wait.
make sense.
Why do I
We do
hate
need to
men?
get her response from this. So the question is, would you rather come across a random man or a random bear in the woods?
Oh. I mean, why are you in the woods as a man? Like,
Okay,
what-
hold on.
What are we doing?
Hold on.
Real?
Because you guys are incapable of engaging with a hypothetical.
No. I'm
So,
going to answer the question,
Here's
but
the
it's
scenario.
just... Okay.
There is no motivation there. You're literally, you press, there's a magic wand,
Yeah.
and a random man in the United States, a totally random man gets dropped into the woods, so do you. And you guys are going to cross paths.
Would I'd rather cross,
So it's not
cross
like,
paths
why
with a
is he
man
in the
than a
woods?
bear, to be honest. Because maybe you can help me get the hell out these woods. Like, a bear's not going to be able to help me, but...
Okay, so
that's
in
why
this scenario, you pick...
I'm picking a man, I think.
I have a
But
serious.
I just feel like, if I'm walking through the woods and then I just randomly see a man, I mean, let's run like a walking trail, but if I'm like lost in the woods and there's just a random man in the woods, I'll be kind of creeped out.
It's not really the
I mean,
question.
if you were lost in the woods and you came across a random man in the woods,
Well, I mean,
wouldn't
I'd
you
be
ask
like,
him
I'm
for help?
lost, but I'd be like, what are you doing?
I have a
I guess you're right,
question.
you're
No,
right.
but I mean, wouldn't you
You're
be
right.
like, I'm lost, can you help me?
Yeah, no, you're right, I'd be freaked. I'd be like, not like, what are you doing here? I'd be like, help me.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
help, right? You'd be like, help, I'm lost in these fucking woods, this sucks. Right?
I have a
Oh,
question.
God.
You switched to man, right?
Yeah, I switched to man.
Okay. Andrew, you were going to have a back and forth, I think, with her.
Yeah,
also.
well, I wanted to ask,
with me?
so I just want to make sure, because I think I understand why a lot of women pick the bear. And I think that what you're trying to say is it's due to the predictable nature of bears. They're easier to predict. Men can do much more unpredictable things, and they have kind of the strength and will in order to have more perverse actions than the bear.
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of want us to see it from your angle. So let me ask a counter question so you can see it from our angle. And I'd like an honest answer from everybody. Do you think a man would rather tell his feelings to a woman or a tree?
A tree, probably.
Hang on, going around the table.
Starting with
Would a
you,
man
Brian.
rather tell his feelings to a woman or a tree?
Definitely a woman.
A tree.
A tree.
I feel like it depends on the situation, but I guess a tree.
I feel like he wants to talk to a woman, but he feel like he can't, so he'd rather just go talk to a tree.
I agree.
Good.
A tree.
Probably a tree.
Well, then, if the social commentary is that we need to be looking at it from your end, that you perceive men as being kind of unpredictable and dangerous in comparison to this massive wild animal, which is known for, mauling random people, then shouldn't you also take into account and take responsibility on the woman's end for the fact that men can't even talk to you or
No,
discuss
absolutely.
with you how we feel about anything and would rather tell it to an inanimate object than you?
Yes, and I have a quick question about that this for the table or whatever. My question is this. How come the idea of 20 men finding them in the forest compared to a bear sounds safer than me with one man? How come that is? I don't
Yeah, but I mean, I could engage with you on it, but why
Yeah.
would I tell you how I felt about it? I'd rather talk to a fucking tree,
man.
right? And this is the whole point. The whole point is that I would rather open up about my feelings to a tree than open up about my feelings to you by your own admission. And yet the social commentary is only one-dimensional, where you say, but well, how come men won't take responsibility for how we feel about them? Well, how come you won't see it from our angle that as we're having this discussion, I would probably prefer to take a random inanimate object, in this case a tree, and open up about my feelings to the tree than you, and it's true.
Well, I mean, like,
So,
I also...
isn't that crazy?
That is-
Like, where's the responsibility from
but-
the other direction?
I
Crazy,
admit,
but y'all set that up for
I also
yourselves.
disagree.
I admit it is a bit It is a bit outlandish in a sense because it's like, I mean, I'm thinking if I were to encounter 20 men or a bear, I would feel safer with the 20 men than the one man. I don't know. Maybe is it because you have bad experience with one man? I never had a bad experience with 20 men. Is that it? Is that just the bias, like the confirmation?
Well, no. Listen. So what we're looking at is kind of a plural meaning here from the woman's perspective. So I'm taking myself out of my shoes, trying to put myself into the shoes of you. You say, listen, I'd much rather come across a random bear than a man because I can ascribe all of these motivations onto a random man of things that they could do to me which are sick and twisted and dark and horrible, and I can maybe at least predict a bear. And it's like, men, from the woman's perspective, like I don't understand why men don't get this.
Donated $200. Only a female could be stupid enough to pick a wild animal that will kill them over a grown man who can save her life. There is a reason no good man wants these women.
Damn. All right, Grid 1 Motorsports. There he is.
That's crazy.
Coming in.
Grid 1, the legend himself.
Actually, I do have a point to make.
You a good
about
man? Imagine being
like
too
the
have a
men
woman.
going up.
So anyway,
wait.
so back to this, just real quick, this exchange. What we're looking at is the duality.
I'll get you
here.
in.
Thank you.
If I'm taking myself out of my shoes and I'm putting myself in your shoes, I'm trying to see it from your angle. Because to me, it's insane, right? A woman saying, I'd rather have a random, but I'm going, okay, this is the problem with the social commentary from the female perspective. We're not listening to the women and how they feel about us. But then when I bring up the tree, you kind of instantly are like, yeah, of course a tree, but then don't give a shit, right? You're just like, well, and fuck them. I don't care if they would prefer to talk to a tree.
Can I ask a question?
We have done nothing. We're perfect. If they have to go talk to a tree, that's also men's fault.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Why do you think men can't express their feelings to women or to anybody, honestly?
Because y'all don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, because you don't care and you don't. So the thing is that if you don't,
response.
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer your question, right? If you don't give a shit, and you don't, right? And this is why you know that.
No, not and we don't. Not and we don't. Who said we don't give a shit?
You did, because you said that you know that men would rather open up to a tree than you.
I'm so sorry, but me saying that I know men would rather open up to a tree does not mean that I don't give a shit about what a man says. Like,
well,
she doesn't
then why
want you to express your feelings to her. We just know you prefer that. Because men don't want to be
because of the system men have set up for themselves.
Probably because it's men's fault that they would rather talk to a tree.
Probably because of the system men have set up for themselves.
Right, so it's men's fault that they would rather talk to a tree. Women have no accountability at all, right?
It actually is.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's the whole point of the duality. The reason we don't give a shit about the absurd fucking answer of women who go, I'd rather fight a bear in the woods. Even though none of you ever experienced a fucking random bear in the woods. You have no idea what that's like. It's the most terrifying experience of your life you have. What happened with you and the bear in the woods? Tell me. Go ahead, tell me. Give me a story about you and the bear in the woods.
I stood still, and it was predictable, and it went away.
Yeah, what happened?
I stood still. I could predict what the bear would do when I would stand still and hide. Yeah.
This actually happened?
Yes.
Where?
I'm from California. I've been to Tahoe multiple of times.
So up in Tahoe, what type of bear came around you?
A black
and you
bear.
Just stood still and it walked off.
Yep.
Where?
Because bears, guess what? They're predictable. Men aren't.
No, bears, especially in Tahoe, are not predictable.
Well,
especially because they eat human garbage and things like this. People out there feed them. It's a massive problem. They're usually in those areas ultra violent because they have no fear of humans. Totally unpredictable. But the point is that the reason that we don't give a shit about the social commentary on this. We don't care to see it from a woman's perspective. But don't you men understand why it is that you're so dangerous? Is because when I bring up a counterexample of the tree, you go, well, that's also men's fault.
It is. It literally is your fault. You guys have set up this system for yourselves.
Wait, what system?
What do you mean, what system? Like men telling their sons, you can't cry, you can't express this, you can't express that. Be tough. That's y'all set that shit up.
Wait, so hold on, Abigail, you respond, then you have something. Go ahead.
Okay, I would say the reason sons are raised to suck it up is you asked him.
Exactly.
This is just hold on. This is just an example. You asked.
Lol Paladins donated $200. Maybe the bear was at the funeral.
Could be.
Y'all making some money.
You asked him why he thinks that men would pick the tree. and he answered with the same answer, and you said, okay, give me an actual good answer. So they elaborated on how they feel on the subject, and you started yelling and
I
talking
never
over them.
asked why they think
I
men
wouldn't
would
want to
pick the
share my
tree.
feelings
Here,
with that.
just can you be straight? Just be straight on. No, be straight on. Turn the microphone. You're hiding behind the mic. Scoot it to the edge. Just scoot it to the edge of the table. Scoot the mic to the edge of the table.
It is like so
Yeah,
close
the
to
reason
edge.
the reason he's asking that from the audience perspective, if your mouth isn't actually close to the mic when you're speaking,
No, I
nobody
hear.
can hear what
I hear
you're
that.
saying.
I hear what
Yeah,
you're saying. I didn't know my mic was far away. I apologize.
Yeah. It happens all the time because you're in the conversation, and it's easy for people to shift. That's how body language works. All that
Yeah,
stuff.
no,
So
my bad.
Yeah, no big deal.
But so if he expressed to Brian here why he would rather talk to a tree than a woman, Brian would understand. I doubt he'd talk over him or say that's not a good enough answer. He expressed those feelings to you. You talked over him. You said it wasn't a good enough answer. But you're also saying you responded that way, and nobody would want to share their feelings with that. That's just objectively true. You responded that way, and you're also blaming men for not wanting to share their feelings with women.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but all they said is they would rather talk to a tree.
And that was just their answer.
They said because
You're
women
actually
don't give a-
interrupting me, and you're just talking to me about interrupting you. So.
I'm so glad